Welcome to the Loner Ranger Radio Show. You got Bruce Woodburn, CrossCountry Mortgage. Yes, I am the Loner Ranger. Thanks for joining me today. You know, we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things shaking up in the economy right now that I think are important, whether you are looking to buy a home, refinance a home, build a home, pull equity out of it, refinance, you name it. Even if that's not you, I think you're going to find today's show quite interesting because everyone's money is somehow tied to the housing market. Everyone's job and income is somehow tied to the housing market. The fact is that when real estate and mortgages are doing well, we all seem to be doing well. If mortgage rates are down, people are buying cars, people are renovating their homes, people are buying new homes, people are investing in the market. Everything follows behind real estate. And believe it or not, it not only has a local effect or a national effect on us, but it has a global effect. So when we're doing well, most other countries are doing well. When we're not doing so great, most other countries aren't doing so great. Very seldom is it different from that. But we've got some opportunities in the market and we have some challenges in the market. And the Loner Ranger always promises to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. No fluff. Let's just nail it down and really see where the opportunities are and where the challenges are. So we've got about a 5-month inventory right now in the market of homes in Central Florida. Nationally, it's a little bit lower than that. Florida's got about 5 months. Now, where are we comfortable with that? About 2 months to 3 months is a good market to be in. So, who has opportunities and who has challenges? Sellers have a little bit more of a challenge right now. I'm going to tell you, if you're putting your house on the market, you have to get realistic about what somebody's going to pay for that home. And I'm just seeing there's still a lot of sellers that aren't getting right. They think they're going to get more for their property than they are. And you may, but you won't today. Now, if you need to sell or you really would like to sell and you still want to buy, it will be a push for you because you won't get as much as you want for the sale of your home, but you'll get a better deal on the one you buy. So it'll be a wash. Now, for first-time home buyers or any buyer that's looking to put minimum down payment down, now is probably the best opportunity you could ask for. Look, I watch the market every day. I've been waiting for rates to drop. Freddie Mac just announced that rates plummet. Now, I think that's BS. Rates did not plummet. The last time they reported a week ago, they were at 6.85%. Now they're at 6.5% nationally. That's a national average. That may not be you. You may be a little higher. You may be a little lower, but that's what Freddie Mac says today. Well, I don't think that 15 basis points is a plummet in the market. I think that 50 basis points may be a plummet in the market, but I don't see that happening right away. On the other hand, I do see some really positive stuff on the bond market. Now, we have a couple of challenges in the bond market, and that is that inflation ticked back up a little higher than we want. So inflation ticked up to about 2.8%. We want it closer to 2, so it's a little higher. But there's a factor that goes into that, and that is the finance factor. You think about this. If you invested $1 million in the market and you had to pay a fee to your financial advisor of, say, 2%, really factors into inflation because you paid that money. So if inflation really is at 2.8%, subtract 20 basis points from that, and you're really closer to 2.5. And I think that's really where we are. And as long as we don't get any higher than that, I will predict that interest rates will continue to drop, but they're not going to plummet. They're not going to drop dramatically. The Fed, we already know, is going to drop the Fed rate on the 17th, probably 0.5 point. Now, those rates are already built in. Do not think that on the 18th that interest rates are going to be 0.5 point better. It's not going to happen. They're already a little better. And keep in mind that mortgages are not tied to the Fed rate. They're not tied to prime rate. They're tied to bond market. So they're tied to the 15-year, the 10-year, and the 30-year bond. Well, as long as bonds continue to do well, I think that rates will continue to drop, but they're going to drop slowly. They're going to drop steadily. And that's really what we want. So let's put it in perspective. Right now, let's just say your average rate is 6.5. And for veterans, you're closer to 5.5, 5.75. Veterans, now I'm going to tell you, veterans are getting hammered to refinance their home right now. You are getting hammered by lenders to say, I can save you $100. I can save you $150. Keep in mind, if you're a veteran and you get talked in by one of these big banks, mortgage companies, solicitors, whoever maybe is servicing your mortgage right now, it's a scam. It's a trick. Now, it's not a trick to where they can't physically do it. Anybody can drop your rate right now. If you had a rate in the high sixes or sevens, of course we can. But is it the right time to do it? Is it the right time to do it? I really need you to think about that. And next segment, I'm going to talk about whether I think it's the right time or not. In the meantime, I want to get back into the challenges and the opportunities. If you have questions for the loan arranger, I'm here to answer them for you. You'll get no shenanigans. You won't get a story. You won't get a bunch of sales pitches from me or my team or anyone else. Quite frankly, if we don't think you're making the right decision, we'll tell you, I think that's not a good decision to make. I want you to have somebody in my industry that you can count on, that you can trust, that's going to go, yeah, I don't know if I'd negotiate that deal that way, or I don't know if I'd refinance right now, or I don't know if I'd pay that much for that house. Now, I'm not your financial advisor and I'm not your real estate agent, but I can tell you, I do more transactions in real estate than almost any real estate agent or any mortgage lender that you will speak to out there. So I have the experience. I also buy and sell homes. I buy for long term, I buy for short term. So I'm in the market with you. I'm not looking at it from outside going, yeah, I made $15 million in 1984 in the market, but I haven't done anything since. Forget those people. You got to be in the market today because it's different. So sellers are going to have to get realistic. That gives a buyer an opportunity. Right now, buyers, I'm telling you, you need to negotiate high on your price, but negotiate high in closing cost concessions from the seller. I will show you how to do it. I will guide you in the right direction. Then once you've got your deal, let's just say you found a house and it's 400 and you're like, honey, let's offer 380. Well, it's worth 400. Let's offer 380 and you do it. Well, maybe you'll get it. I would come in if it were me and I'd offer $420,000 in closing costs and buy my rate down and cover all my closing costs. That's what I would do because closing costs are dollar for dollar out of pocket. Now, then I order the appraisal and we get the home inspection. If things come back and they don't look just right for us, we renegotiate then. That's how you get the deals. Now, if that's you and you want to get in the market, you just call me. You can reach me in my Tampa office right now at 813-213-4009. If I don't answer, I'm on the air or I'm with a client. Leave me a detailed message. I will call you back. Tampa, 813-213-4009. Orlando, 407-706-3313. That's 407-706-3313. Or go to webringyouhome.com and get your application started. How do you like that radio voice? webringyouhome.com. All right. I've told you before, I'm not a radio personality. I'm not a professional radio talk show host. I'm a really good mortgage guy. I'm a mortgage guy that cares about his clients. I love to see my clients make money. I love to see my clients get a good deal. It makes me happy. Now, why would you choose me to help you with your mortgage? I'll tell you why. CrossCountry Mortgage, the number one retail lender in the country. 1 in 7 mortgages today are CrossCountry Mortgage that originated. 1 in 7 with all the banks and all the credit unions and all the rockets and all the everything. 1 in 7 CrossCountry Mortgage. That should say something. We're the largest retail. We service almost all of our loans, so you don't have to worry about your loan being sold. I have 35 plus years experience in the business. My team of assistant loan officers on my team have more experience than 99% of the loan officers that I meet out there. They're horrible, and you're choosing them. Why? Because somebody gave you their name. The realtor gave you their name. I'm going to tell you something. You need to get with the loan arranger. Call me. I will make sure you always get the best information, the best tactical strategies, the best interest rate, the lowest possible closing costs, and I will help you position yourself for wealth. What else do you want? My name's Bruce Woodburn, and I am the loan arranger. So I will hope that you give me a call, and I hope that we can develop that relationship, because I do develop relationships with my clients. If you don't believe me, just ask them. I give out these phone numbers. These are not a call center, folks. These are my phone numbers. So I give them to you so that I can be of service to you. Now, you buyers, this is an opportunity. Rates have dropped. I know they're not 5%. I know they're not 5.5%, but they're still much better. They probably will get lower, but I don't want you to wait for them to drop much. If you wait too much, sellers don't need to negotiate with you anymore. Think about this. Let's just say there's 10,000 people that want to go out and buy a home right now, but only 2,000 are willing to do it because the other 8,000 are saying, oh, interest rates are too high. I think the housing market's going to crash. I think houses are going to come down in price. They're not going to come down in price, folks. They've already done that. They're already leveled off. So what you're waiting for is for interest rates to drop. Hey, that sounds smart. You'd have a lower payment, but it's not a good strategy. Here's the strategy. You buy now. We can always refinance later. I don't charge any lender fees when you come back to me to refinance. No lender fees. So you'll get a great rate now. We'll get a better rate later, but we're going to lock in the home. And here's why you don't wait. Because if you wait for rates to drop, let's just say they drop in March to 5.75, and you got a 6.5, we'll refinance it. But if you wait for then, now that 10,000 people that wanted to buy, but only 2,000 bought, now you got all 10,000 in the market. Now, guess what happened to the seller's inventory? Went from 5 months to a month and a half. Now, if you remember during COVID when rates were low, there was like 1 week worth of inventory, and you had to bid high on the house, waive the appraisal inspection, waive the home inspection, pay over ask price for the house. You weren't getting any repairs done. I mean, you got no deal. And yet people wanted to buy because they thought the interest rates were lower. But it wasn't the best time. Now, it was a good time, but it wasn't the best time. Right now, you can negotiate closing costs, buy downs, roof repairs, plumbing repairs, all kinds of things sellers are willing to do because they don't have enough buyers to sell to. There's more sellers than buyers. Change that. Make your move now. Call me, get pre-approved for your financing. When you're pre-approved with me, you are positioned like a cash buyer. When you are fully approved with me, I've pulled your credit. We'll do a soft pull. We don't have to do a hard pull, except for FHA. You're fully approved. I've got your pay stubs, W-2s, bank statements, tax returns. If you're I got everything I need. Now, I will position you like a cash buyer. When I do that and you go to make an offer, I'm going to show you, I'm going to demonstrate the guarantee that I give the seller that you're going to close, and I'm going to guarantee the closing. Hang on. I'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loan Arranger Show, and I'm going to share with you my guarantee to help you become the winner. 407-706-3313 in Orlando, or 813-213-4009 in Tampa, or WeBringYouHome.com. I am the Loan Arranger, Bruce Woodburn. Thanks for listening. I'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loan Arranger Show. We're going to talk about some advantages for you. Be right back.